Welcome to my guitar mini course. This is G Aeolian key of B flat. So I started off playing symmetrical hexatonic scale patterns on different string groups. So please refer to the PDF linked in the bottom of the description. So I'll just start off just briefly. I'll just talk about that backing track. So it's basically a G minor chord, and then to an F chord. Then I went to an E flat chord, but a G in the bass. And then to a D chord, F sharp in the bass. And there's different guitars in there. There's a classical guitar that's playing kind of bar chords, G minor, F. Then it's just playing just a regular E flat with like using a C-shaped chord, and then it's going to a D. Okay, and then the electric guitar is playing kind of arpeggios on the bottom four strings in F. And then here I go to E flat, B flat, E flat with a G in the bass. And then I go to like a D with an F sharp in the bass. And then I added the seventh. So that's the basic track. Okay, I think what I'll do next is I'll just kind of go quickly through these hexatonic patterns. So the idea here is the symmetrical patterns. You have the same fingering on adjacent strings, and by pairing the guitar into two string groupings, then you can move these things around and play the same fingering pattern, same melodic ideas in three different octaves. So I'll say the note names just ascending but not descending. So you have F, G, A, B flat, C, D, and it moves up. F, G, A, B flat, C, D, F, G, A, B flat, C, D. Right, and that links up with G, A, B flat, C, D, E flat, G, A, B flat, C, D, E flat, G, A, B flat, C, D, E flat. Okay, next one, A, B flat, C, D, E flat, F, A, B flat, C, D, E flat, F, A, B flat, C, D, E flat, F. And then the last one, B flat, C, D, E flat, F, G, B flat, C, D, E flat, F, G, B flat, C, D, E flat, F, G. Right. So the basic strategy I was using, jamming along with that, is I was just starting up at this one here, up at the G note at the 15th fret. Right, so the root and the fifth of that G minor chord is right under my fourth finger. So I was a lot of times beginning and or ending on that note. Then on the next one, so the F and the C are the root and fifth of that chord. Then next one, that's your E flat, B flat for the E flat chord. Okay, then here. Right, so you got your D and your A. So then, if you look at the PDF, I mentioned you can change your Fs to F sharp, which I did pretty much throughout. So you can consider that harmonic minor, or you consider it Phrygian dominant. So kind of the way I'm using it here, I guess you would kind of hear it more like Phrygian dominant. And then it would resolve back to the G minor. Okay, so I think that's about all I'm going to talk about for this particular section. So just very quickly. So once again, I'm not going to try to deconstruct every single little lick I did, but if you take all those same ideas I just talked about and move them here. that's kind of centered around going from the G minor chord, F chord, starting from the F, on the, and then the E flat chord, E flat, B flat, and then same thing here, D and A. Yeah, so then I just used that F instead of F sharp. So you can kind of play around with these, kind of move into different string sets. Actually, maybe I will do one quick thing. So that I was kind of messing with this a little bit. So if you take like the Crazy Train riff, which is F sharp, and then you took that and moved it through this, you can get some interesting sounds. Back to the Aeolian. Okay, or it actually the way the riff goes, you would have to shift down to get that low note. Okay, so but you wouldn't have to put that in. Okay, so then if you move up to here. Kind of an interesting sound, and then you come to here. It gives it a more major sound or a more kind of dominant sound, and then I'll just do one more, even though this is out of the position. But that takes you kind of into more a Dorian sound. So if somebody played that and then someone played this. You gotta take that. So that's kind of what I'm encouraging you to do, is just learn the fretboard in different ways, and then use your creativity and your imagination to come up with your own riffs, either a riff like that, or you use it in some of your soloing ideas. Okay, in the next section, I'll take a little break here, and then in the next section, I'll talk about some modal pentatonics. That'll be on the second sheet of the PDF, and I'll use a little bit different progression. Welcome to the second half of this guitar mini course, G Aeolian, key B flat. So in this section, I'll do a little different progression simpler progression, and then I'll talk a little bit about these modal pentatonics and different ways of using them. Some of the concepts will be familiar, just using minor pentatonic on the minor chords, and some of them may be a little bit more unusual or advanced. Okay, so I started off by just describing the progression I'm using on the backing track. So it's a G minor, C minor, G minor, and a D minor. And I do have a video for this that I'll publish eventually after I publish this part. Okay, so if you look at the PDF below, the description in the video, you'll see I have listed about eight different modal pentatonics. So I'm just going to go ahead and play through the basic forms. So you have G minor pentatonic, F, G, B flat, C, D, and you'll notice how every two strings is the same fingering. F, G, B flat, C, D, F, G, B flat, C, D. I won't say the names backwards. Am7 flat 5 pentatonic. So you'll notice in the video I used that for a C minor chord, for that C minor chord, because A minor 7 flat 5 is also a C minor 6 chord. So if you look at that scale, you have C, E flat, G, D, A. So you have a C minor chord with the 6 and the 9. So I think it's an interesting way of using that. Okay, I'll play through the scale. G, A, C, D, E flat, G, A, C, D, E flat, G, A, C, D, E flat. All right, so I also like to use that one a lot on the dominant chord of that key. So key of B flat would be an F7 chord. A little bit of a tangent there. Okay, so next one, B flat major 7 pentatonic, A B flat, D E flat F, A B flat, D E flat F, A B flat, D E flat F. So in the jam, I use that one over the G minor 7th chord, because you have B flat, D, F, so you have like the notes of a minor 7th chord, 3rd, 5th, flat at 7th, you have the 9, and then you have like this kind of unusual note, which is like a passing note. So B flat major 7th over G minor, pretty common. G, B flat, D, F, A. So the top part of a G minor 7th or G minor 9th chord is a B flat major 7th. Okay, and then last but not least, C minor pentatonic. B flat C, E flat F G, B flat C, E flat F G, B flat C, E flat F G. And obviously that would work really well over the C minor chord, in this context. I'm just going to point out quickly that one of the things that I didn't do very much in this video, because I'm trying to kind of stay within a particular framework. There's always two fingerings of these. So like if you have the C minor pentatonic here, B flat C, E flat F G. You also have this one here, C B flat, G F E flat. So that'll take me out of the constraints that I'm putting on myself. And then the same thing happens for the D minor. So D minor, F, G, A, C, D, F, G, A, C, D, F, G, A, C, D. So if you go up to here, C, D, F, G, A. So you can also do it there. So there's a whole another one there. Okay, E flat major pentatonic. G A B flat, D E flat, G A B flat, D E flat, G A B flat, D E flat. All right, so the same relationship. So for the G minor, when I was doing that G minor chord, I played B flat major major 7. So for the C minor chord, I can use this E flat major 7. This is kind of what I did there. So I went. Right, so that's C, E flat G, B flat D. So the top part of a C minor 9 chord is the E flat. So that's an interesting way of using that if you're playing like a blues in C minor or blues in G minor. That works really well. Okay, and then 2 more of these: F7 pentatonic, A B flat C, E flat F, A B flat C, E flat F, A B flat C, E flat F. Yeah, so you can kind of hear that. That kind of, some people call that the Jan Hammer scale. Okay, so you hear it, yeah, like this sort of the fusion people use that scale, but that sometimes they refer to that dominant pentatonic as the Jan Hammer scale. Okay, and then one more was going to be the G minor pentatonic starting from B flat C D, F G, B flat C D, F G, B flat C D, F G. Okay, so a lot of material here. So I would, if you're just getting into this. To start with, I would probably have you just focus on like the minor pentatonic. So this one here, move that around, and then this one here, the D minor, and then also this I guess the C minor here, and then the G minor here, and just kind of move those around to different places before you start looking at the other ones. But they're also very very helpful. All right, so I think that's all I'm going to do talking about these pentatonics. So you can see how, so G minor pentatonic for G minor, then you can also use the B flat major pentatonic over the G minor, and then for the C minor pentatonic, you can also use the E flat major 7 pentatonic. All right, so I realize it's a lot of material to cover, but it's well worth it to get some different sounds happening. Okay, I'm going to go back to the progression that I did in the previous section. This G minor, F, E flat to D, and I'm just going to do like an ending improvisation over that using these various concepts. I'll just use symmetrical pentatonic, modal pentatonic, and then I'll probably break out of the constraints and maybe also use some arpeggios, maybe some cage stuff, and just kind of see what happens. Okay, well, thanks for listening and watching.